Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. Happy Friday. Let me know in the comments where you're watching it from and how you're doing on Friday. Today, we're going to talk about how I drove 1.4 plus million views on TED Talks, on YouTube, specifically on YouTube, and what exactly drives success towards your TED Talk. So if you're about to become a TED speaker, if you always wanted to do a TED Talk and you wonder how the people go viral on YouTube, then today live is exactly for you. So let me know how you're doing and where you're watching it from. Put a hashtag live if you're watching it live. Put hashtag replay if you're watching it on replay. Let's just dive directly. I'm going to check on the go all the comments. So if you have questions, I'm going to open a Q&A session at the very end. So ask me anything session at the very end of this. But let's just let you know how I drove all this traffic for just 6 months. It was just for the past 6 months. And there were talks with 320,000. There were talks with 214,000. There were talks with 103,000. It was so many different variations in so many different categories. But the question is how exactly you can do that for your TED Talk as well. So let's dive in directly. The first thing what I want to tell you is that the 50% of your success, if you want your TED Talk to go viral, it indeed comes from what you say, how you say it, how you prepare for the day for the TED Talk, and how you deliver it in full power on the day. The other 50%, however, comes from the social hacks, what you need to embed in your TED Talk. And this is today talk exactly what I'm going to speak on today. Let's just check very quickly. Gary is saying good morning from Canada, hashtag live. Absolutely amazing. Good morning, Gail. Let me know how you're doing in, I believe, cold Canada. Right now it's super, super cold here. Okay, so obvious, but I have to say it. If you only do 50% of your journey, of your efforts, then of course you're going to get only 50% of your results. This is kind of normal, but people always forget what exactly is the whole journey. It is the preparation, it's the delivery, and then it's all these social media hacks. So when you prepare very well, when you deliver it brilliantly, and when you embed all the hacks what I'm about to give you today in this video, the result is going to be not just 50%, it's going to be 100% full blast on. This is how I drove this traffic of 1.4 million views towards the different TED Talks in total, just in 6 months. So the key 4 hacks that are super crucial and they help me to drive all this traffic to the different TED Talks. 4 of them, just 4 of them. It's not difficult. It's actually quite easy as long as you know what to do. So just before I continue, follow me on LinkedIn, hit the bell button on LinkedIn, which is a new feature on LinkedIn, has been there for 1 month to make sure that you do have notifications when I go live and when I post. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe for my channel and hit also the bell button to make sure that you do have notification when I go live. And if you're watching it on Facebook, do click the thumbs up and follow me there on Facebook as well. So let's go dive directly in hack number 1. It is the keywords in your title. They're super crucial. Your title is the first thing where YouTube is going to go look. The engine of YouTube, by the way, it's automated. It's artificial intelligence behind. It's going to go and look in the keywords of your title. That's why it's so super crucial. This is how not just YouTube, but all the platforms where your TED Talk, TEDx talk is going to go. That's how the platform understand what kind of people they need to grab from around the world and basically bring to your TED Talk to say, are you interested in this TED Talk? Here you go. You're going to watch this and you're going to absolutely loving it. It comes from the keywords from your title. This is the first place where YouTube and every single platform, of course, is going to look for keywords. Now, here is something super important. If you put not relevant keywords in your title, there will be no people coming to your talk. That is just sadly, but that is absolutely correct, because the engine is like, I don't know what kind of people with this type of interest. Maybe they're interested, maybe not, but I don't know. And that's how you're gonna lose a lot of audience. If you put too broad keywords on your TED title, your talk is going to be lost in the sea of videos. And this is something what I always say. If you are like going to a fish shop and you say like, can I have a fish, please? Well, obviously, the man behind the desk is going to look at you and be like, choose. This is a fish shop, right? We have plenty and we only have fish here, right? This is exactly how the YouTube and other platforms is like, the keywords are too broad. I don't know what kind of traffic to put towards your TED Talk. So be very, very careful when you use wisely your keywords. So the number one thing what I want you to remember today is to do your research on titles, on keywords diligently. Really pay a lot of attention. Put your time on that, because it's super, super crucial. After this, once your talk is done, to drive this traffic depending on the keywords in your title. And the second rule, what I want you to remember today is that the titles are maximum 100 characters. So use them wisely. It's really, really important. I'm going to stop for a second before I go to hack number 2, 3, and 4. Let's see the comments. Gary is saying, always love hearing your TEDx tips. You're an amazing advocate. Thank you so much, Gail. Gail is saying also 50% of effort means 50% results. It's exactly same in life. It's exactly same in TEDx, absolutely. And Kirsty is saying, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kirsty. I know you're in the UK, so have an amazing time in UK. Okay, hack number 2 is to start using hashtags. Believe or not, only 1% of TEDx speakers are using hashtags. 1% is just amazing. And I know I love taking the data, what is on YouTube, right? And understand what the other speakers did. But I can tell you right now, from all I see constantly every day on YouTube and the TEDx channel, only 1% are using this hack. So if you start using 3 hashtags on your TEDx video, on any kind of video as well. This is not just for TEDx, but just for all kind of YouTube videos. You're going to be part of very small percentage of speakers who is really going to tell the YouTube engine, this is the hashtags, these are the keywords, drive this traffic towards my video. I want them on my video. This is exactly how hashtags are working. So here's what's gonna happen. Not using the hashtags automatically means that there will be no strangers coming to your talk. I'm gonna repeat that, strangers. It's a keyword here, because it's one thing when your TED Talk is out there and you share it with family members, with co-workers, with ex-colleagues, with all your networks, but it's something completely different to start attracting all the strangers they never heard your name, they never seen your face, but now YouTube is like, you have to watch this person TED Talk because you're gonna absolutely loving it. This is how the hashtag works. So if you don't use hashtags, all these people around the world will never actually find your talk. This is how powerful it is to use the hashtags. The second rule here is that if you use too broad keywords in your hashtags, then your talk is going to be, again, lost in the sea of videos. So don't use too broad keywords. Let me just give you a very quick example. If your TED Talk is about health, then think about it. So health on YouTube specifically has 217,000 videos and 186,000 channels. It's a sea of videos, okay? Now, if you use a hashtag mental health, this now narrows it to 250,000 videos and 72,000 channels. But if you use mental illness, this is 17, now you're shrinking, 17,000 videos and 6.1 thousand channels. This is not followers. This is just the amount of the videos and the channels. But if you use, for example, if you go on YouTube, type hashtag mental illness, you're going to see that there are videos with millions of views for the reason that whoever used the hashtag mental illness didn't want to be too broad. Health, although it is health, didn't want to be less broad, but still broad enough, mental health. It was like, I'm talking about mental illness. So put a yes or a no if that makes sense, because really the less broad hashtags you start using as 3 hashtags in your video, the bigger audience is gonna come to you. Although I really want to make sure that you do have you get that one or not. So put a yes or a no if it makes sense. So Mark Edwards says, how can you use hashtags if the people at TED upload with their own words? Well, send them the words. This is exactly what I do with all my clients. I send them the whole wording of your YouTube video and I say, can you please send it? So make sure, although there is a specific text, which is a mandatory text from TEDx, like TEDx is independently organized events organized by TEDx community, etc., etc. This is a mandatory text. It's in the guidelines, Mark. So this is just quite simple. Just give them the whole wording and the hashtags and the rest of the other 2 tags, which I'm about to give you. So the last thing about hashtags, what I want to tell you is that there are 3 hashtags to use on YouTube, specifically on YouTube. So choose them wisely. There are 3 of them. Okay, don't give them 4 or 5 because the last 2, so anything above 3 is going to be ignored by YouTube. Okay, so let me just explain again. If let's say you put 4 hashtags in a YouTube video or TEDx video, YouTube is going to pick the first 3 hashtags and it's going to ignore the rest. Okay, so put 1 if this makes sense, put number 2 in the comments if that doesn't make sense and I need to explain it again. I'm going to check the comments right now. Now we've got 2 more hacks to finish the 4 hacks on how you can go viral. Hack number 3 is all about tags. Okay, tags and hashtags are very, very similar. They're keywords. That's it. Keywords, very, very simple. Now, if you don't use tags, there will be no strangers coming to watch your TED Talk. This is how super powerful it is. Okay, I'm going to explain in tags just in a second, but just let me tell you what's going to happen if you don't use really tags. If you use the same keywords in tags and hashtags and title, those 3 hacks, then literally you're going to waste your tag. You're going to waste your hashtag and tag because they're the same words. So they're competing to each other. And it's just like the whole opportunity, what is given by YouTube platform is basically you saying like, well, I don't want to use this opportunity. Like, I don't care. Well, actually you should. You really have to blast it. So we're talking about title, which is 100 characters maximum, including your name and the name of the event. We're talking about 3 hashtags. Okay. And now we're going to talk about 6 tags. So you're allowed to use 6 tags, 6 keywords by TEDx. Okay, so it's a pre-listed allowed tags by TEDx. You can find them on TED.com. Your organizers can send that to you. But go through the whole list. There are 382, don't quote me on the number, 380 to 390 tags to choose from. I mean, that's a lot, right? Okay, but choose 6 of them and don't do the same keywords as your hashtag and anything what you mention in your title, because otherwise you're going to just waste your opportunity. I'm going to just stop for a second. Gary's saying 1, which is great, perfect. So it all makes sense. Thank you so much. Great. The hack number 4 is your category. Okay, you can choose only one category. It's mandatory, so you need to collaborate with your organizer as of which category they should basically select for you. Okay, so you can only choose one category out of 12, right? And the 12 categories are this: it's art, business, design, education, entertainment, global issues, health, communities, life, science, social science, and technology. As you can see, 12 of them are broad enough, okay, but pretty much they cover everything. Like everything what TED Talks is about is covered in those categories. So choose wisely your category. And again, if you use, for example, health, don't put health as a hashtag and don't put health as a tag, because it will be a waste of a hashtag and a waste of a tag. So choose your categories wisely and don't repeat them in the other hacks what I just gave you. Now, just to wrap up in a very, very short sentence, my formula for a very viral TED Talk is to prepare it well, to deliver it brilliantly and in full power, to use clever keywords in your title, in 3 hashtags, in 6 tags, and in 1 category. Okay, this is what are my hacks and how I basically help all these people to and drove 1.4 million plus views towards TED Talks. Now, on keywords, as I'm sure now you're thinking, okay, what kind of keywords I should use, right? I'm going to give you 3 categories keywords. The group A category for keywords is to use the problem, how the people describe their problem. Don't use the solution, just use the problem. So I'll give you an example. Gail, I'm going to use you because I've been following you on LinkedIn. You're going to do the expo very soon, and you did an amazing interview about plastics. So think about what is the problem about plastics. You talk about a lot about curiosity, and my curious brain is always there with you, I can tell you. But for me personally, for example, the way how I would explain plastics is that actually we human did not have a good, I don't want to use the word education, but I'm going to use the word like, we don't know exactly what reusing plastic means, because we have a very, very wrong opinion what is recyclable and what is not recyclable plastic. So recyclable plastic and like changing education on recyclable plastic, this would be basically the problem. I don't have the exact word, but I'm sure you do have a much better one. So this is group A. Use a problem as a keyword, not a solution. Keyword in a group B is your audience. So let's see who is in right now watching. Put your audience in the comments, and I'll give you a few tips about audience and which hashtags and tags with that audience are really big and which one are not that big, so I can help you as I'm here and you have all my expertise and all the brain which has been like loading on a daily basis of what's going on YouTube on so many different topics and variations. And here is group C. So put your audience, and I'll let you know if this is a good hashtag and a good keyword for title. Okay, group C is the words you mostly use in your script, the words you mostly say out loud on stage. Okay, because let me give you a little bit of a tip here. YouTube has not just artificial intelligence engine behind, but they have a machine learning behind the scene. What's happening is that every time when you say out loud different words throughout your TED Talk, what happens is that the machine learning catch those words, and if you use the same words over and over throughout your video, and that match any of your hashtags or tags or in the title, then that's what's going to happen. Basically, the YouTube engine will be like, right, this is the keywords. Let's just find all the people who are interested in that keywords, because this person in her speech said it 15 times the same word. She or he is using it in the title. Boom, and this is how the machine learning is actually working for you, literally, to serve you, not only you, but also your audience. And this is how the machine learning helps the artificial intelligence to drive traffic towards your video. Put a yes or no in the comment if that makes sense. I want to see if this it makes sense. I have very little to finish before I before I open for all kind of questions. Gary is saying 1. Yes, it makes sense. I don't see who is that LinkedIn users, but you says empaths. Empaths is very broad. Okay. So I want you to think of a narrowed down audience, right? So think, because I know empaths, because I researched that audience a few weeks ago. So empaths, too broad. Just narrow it down. Okay. Josephine is saying my audience is nurses. Yes, I love it. So either use nurses. It doesn't. Okay. So Josephine, use it in the title. I would personally, what I would do is to use it in the title. Don't use it in the hashtags. In the title is because the priority for the YouTube engine is this: it checks in the keywords in the title, then in the hashtags, then in the tags, then in the category. So if you use it in the nurse in the title, YouTube will be like, hey, Josephine. Okay, that's how it works. Robert Nikonov says von Rent. I don't know what this is. So sorry, dear. You need to explain a little bit more about what exactly you commented on my YouTube channel and the live YouTube video right now. Hot topic with plastics is banning them. People think it's a solution is better recycling. Can plastic ban be used, since people talking about that? Yes. So your keyword is banning plastic, or because only ban, like you can ban so many things. Obviously, just plastic will be quite broad again. But the moment when you put hashtag banning plastics, then you narrow it to really the problem what people are using. So that's great. Josephine is saying it makes sense. Light workers is saying, I'm not quite sure who is, maybe is Achim, I don't know. But light workers instead of empaths, maybe it's clients of light workers I'm wanting to reach. Yes, light workers is much better, and it's much narrowed down by instead of empaths. Okay, so light workers, way showers, any of those, it's a spot on. Okay, so let me finish very quickly before I open for all kind of questions about TED Talks, anything what you've got for me. Just to wrap up, my formula for a full success for a very viral TED Talk is to prepare very well, to deliver it on stage in full power. When you stand on stage, this is 50% of your success. The other 50% is to use the 4 hacks what I gave you today. Keywords in your title, in your hashtags, in your tag, in your category. Don't repeat them, because that would be a waste of a opportunity there, and use them really wisely with all the tips what I explained. Do follow me on LinkedIn and click the bell button so you will have a notification when I post, and I go live every Friday at 12 p.m. And if you're watching it right now on YouTube, do subscribe for my channel and hit the bell button as well so you can have the notifications. I'm opening right now for all kind of questions for TED Talks. But if you have any questions specifically for today's all the 4 hacks what I gave you on how, from experience, on how I drove the 1.4 plus million views just in 6 months, just put it in the comments and I will absolutely answer all the questions. Thank you so much for joining today's live. Let's just see the comments and okay, any kind of questions? If not, don't worry. If you're watching it on a replay, put the hashtag replay. I'm going to open and I'm going to follow up with you, and I'll answer all the comments and all the questions in the comments straight away. Thank you so much for joining. As I don't see any questions, I'm going to show you something really cute, because this is a really sweet memory of my San Francisco trip several years ago. I love my trips and I so miss them. But yes, as I'm right now with my parents, as you can see, the background is very different than the usual. Then yeah, I'm kind of having, I left my mug here with my mom and dad and was like, I need a nice reminder how beautiful it is to travel around this beautiful world. I don't see any comments and any questions. Thank you so much for joining today's live. And again, if you have more questions, put them in the comments. I'm going to see you next Friday at 12 p.m. UK time. I'm sending you a lot of love and a lot of energy wherever you are around this beautiful world. Have an amazing, amazing, beautiful weekend ahead. See you next Friday.